The Body Chute and the Echoes of Room 502, a true horror at Waverly Hills. The air around Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Louisville, Kentucky, is not just cold. It is heavy, suffocatingly so, burdened by the estimated 63,000 souls who perished within its walls. This towering, abandoned monument to suffering stands as one of the most intensely haunted locations in America. Its very foundation, soaked in the despair of the White Plague, tuberculosis. Built in the early 20th century to isolate and treat the rapidly spreading disease, the sanatorium became a final stop for thousands, and the brutal reality of their demise created an energy so dark it remains palpably present today. The treatment for tuberculosis in the 1920s and 30s was often as agonizing as the disease itself. Patients were subjected to experimental surgeries, some involving the collapse of a lung, and a regimen of forced fresh air, regardless of the weather. Death was a frequent, almost scheduled visitor. To keep morale from completely disintegrating among the living patients, the hospital staff devised a gruesome, secret method for removing the dead. This was the infamous Body Chute, a 500-foot-long tunnel that ran from the sanatorium building to the base of the hill, leading to the nearby railroad tracks. The deceased, wrapped in sheets, were loaded onto a small conveyance and sent down the chute, hidden from view. This grim procession, repeated countless times, cemented a pathway for the departed that many believe is still traveled today. Their restless spirits unable to leave the horrific memory of their final, lonely journey. The building itself is a labyrinth of decay, but the fifth floor holds a particular concentration of terror, specifically Room 502. This room is central to one of the most tragic and documented true stories of Waverly Hills. The official legend states that in 1928, a nurse, unmarried and pregnant, was found dead in Room 502. She had allegedly committed suicide by hanging herself from a light fixture. Her desperation, compounded by the shame and secrecy of her situation in that era, became a defining, horrifying moment for the building. Years later, in 1932, another nurse working in the same room met an equally terrifying end. While the circumstances are debated, some say she jumped, others that she was pushed. She fell from the window of Room 502 and was found dead on the ground below. The combination of these two suicides, both involving young women, associated with the care and eventual despair of the facility, has made Room 502 a focal point of intense paranormal activity. Visitors and paranormal investigators consistently report overwhelming feelings of dread and sorrow in the room. Disembodied voices, often whispering or weeping, are captured on recording devices. Shadows move and congeal into human shapes, particularly near the infamous window. It's not just residual energy. There is a distinct, intelligent haunting. Some have claimed to be physically touched, scratched, or pushed by an unseen force. The energy of the distraught nurse is believed to manifest as a protective, yet deeply tragic entity that actively interacts with those who dare to enter her space. The children's ward, too, carries a chilling atmosphere. Tuberculosis was ruthless, claiming many young lives. The ghosts of children are frequently reported, manifesting as giggles, the sound of a bouncing ball, or fleeting figures in the solariums, once places of therapeutic sunshine, now cold, desolate concrete, where small spirits still play. Timmy, a young boy ghost often reported to play with a leather ball, is a common encounter. His playful innocence, contrasts sharply with the malevolent, dark entities that haunt the lower floors, especially the treatment areas and the kitchen, where untold suffering occurred. The cumulative despair of Waverly Hills is a story that defies fiction. It is a historical record of medical horror, loneliness, and the dark finality of thousands of premature deaths. The chilling reality is that the screams of the patients, the frantic whispers of the staff, and the silent, terrifying journey down the Body Chute are not just memories. They are, according to countless eyewitness accounts and documented evidence, a permanent, terrifying fixture of the grounds. To stand on the 5th floor, near room 502, is to stand in a vortex of raw human pain, a place where the veil between the living and the dead is gossamer thin, and the past is not only present, but actively hostile. This is not just a haunted building. It is a repository of true, unrelenting American tragedy. A place where the dead never truly found peace, and their stories are eternally echoed in the decaying halls. The horrors of Waverly Hills are not folklore. They are history made manifest.